Konnichiwa mina, this is T Sakura, and you're watching PokeCast. This is the final 2 of my top 10 creature feature list that I did. Just to introduce the rules one more time, it has to be an animal or an alien animal, and it can be anything I've done before. So here's the final 2 in my creature feature list, and probably a couple of you have already kind of dawned on what and who are my last 2 favorites. So going on to number 2, Gamera. What can't I say about Gamera? Well, first of all, let's kind of give you a, where he's from. Okay, Gamera was created in 1965. The creator of Gamera was Yonijiro Saito, and he has now starred in 12 movies, going all the way up to, I think the last one was in 1998, which were, both of the movies from the 90s were fantastically made. I mean, they did so well to where they kept a lot of the original stuff, but they went with the, they didn't use too much computer animation to where it ruined it. They still used all this small-scale models of everything that was being destroyed. That Blu-ray is awesome. Definitely one of my favorites. When it comes to my favorite movie from Gamera, I would have to say, without a doubt, Gamera vs. Monster X. My all-time favorite one that they did. I've watched most of them. When it comes to graphic favorites, too hard to choose because there's so many effects that they did in the movies that were just absolutely hilarious. I mean, I remember one of them. I can't remember which particular one it was. No, I can't remember the name of that one, unfortunately. But we see when the alien's talking to the princess, about her planet being in dire need of help and all that. You see the space station. You see the little moon car, and you can see the string that they're pulling the toilet paper roll made car. Yes. It was made of toilet paper rolls. And you just seeing the string being pulled. Another one was in that same movie when the airplane that the princess is on is attacked. The plane is blown up. You can still see it hanging there, the wings hanging over here in the air. You can see the strings. And it's like, oh, cut the next scene, cut the next scene. And they just leave it like that. It's just like, oh man. I was laughing so hard. And then when I got the opportunity, I think that same one was featured in Mr. Science Theater 3000, which made me even laugh more with those guys, taking their swing at it. And they've just done such a wonderful job with this monster. Let's make a giant turtle that has atomic powers, that can fly at Mach 3, and be able to shoot fire out of its mouth and be able to save the planet. And not only save the planet, but he can be summoned by the children around the planet and save Tokyo, Japan, and the world whenever the kids call upon Gamera. And that's why I really enjoyed the Gamera vs. Monster X, because we actually have some children save Gamera from the inside when he got crystallized by Monster X. Then after they're out and safe, Gamera goes to return the favor to save them. So that has been number 2. Now, with Gamera being number 2, obviously number 1 will have to be Godzilla. My all-time favorite monster of all time, Godzilla, when it comes to animal type creatures. Now, Godzilla was released on November 3rd, 1954, and that was the first time he was introduced to everybody. First time being there in Japan, then eventually coming to the United States. His creator is Tomoyaki Tanaka, sorry. And he has been in 30 different movies, with at least 2 of them being from the United States, and one of those is on its way, going to be released in actually this year. So he has been shown many times, many movies, many different monsters he's had to fight, team-ups. He's been at least in, I want to say at least 2, because I wasn't able to find too much information on the page I was looking for the cartoon series, but he's been at least in 2 American cartoon series. He does have his own comic strip from Marvel in the 1980s, where was actually pretty good. I actually have one of those. I'm very excited to get a hold of one of those. He's had tons of video games which are fantastic to play. My favorite one of all time was definitely Super Godzilla for the Super Nintendo. Then going up to the King of the Monsters, you know, for the GameCube. And what else has he not been in? I mean, he's been like almost in everything, it seems like, to where usually even a joke when needs be, because of he's Godzilla. He's been through everything. Let's see, when was the first time I ever saw Godzilla? Okay, well, actually no, there was 3 American releases, because I think the first time I ever saw Godzilla was the first one. No, it wasn't that one. Oh, this is hard to remember because there's been so many. I think it was Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster was probably my first one that introduced me to the Godzilla franchise, and I was hooked. I mean, he was just an amazing hero or villain, depending on which era you started in. And when it came to my favorite one, it's unfortunately the hardest one, since a different company actually owned the rights to it and refused to this day to actually work with people unless they just decided to be nice about it, that I don't know about, was when it was Godzilla versus Banaterica? The rose monster that they actually spliced Godzilla's genes with a rose. Was one of my all-time favorite ones, and unfortunately is owned by a different company and impossible to get. Unless you get lucky, because it was featured on the Mystery Science Theater, that one, and on VHS. It got a release on VHS, so it's one of those I'm actually searching for on VHS. But it has not been released on DVD or Blu-ray because of it having legal rights, and that's why I really hate America and their stupid legal rights on copywriting. You know, it's so much easier in other countries than it is here, because like, no, we own the rights to that one, we got them first, so therefore all you Godzilla fans have to wait until they pay us more money. You're not gonna pay us money? Then you don't get the film. It's like, yeah. Godzilla alone, there has been many different ones. He's teamed up with several different monsters. He's even there's even one that's Godzilla where a little boy's being chased around by some thugs because he, took something of theirs, and the whole time the kid can see Godzuki, and Godzuki is talking to this kid like, don't worry, boy, you can do this. Be like me. I'm always trying to be like Godzilla and be strong. So they even went out of their way to make those. We had Rodan, we had just all kinds of different monsters, and that is why Godzilla is my all-time favorite, and hopefully, will always be in the top 10 list. If they allow atomic creatures as well, because he is still a creature that should be, all the other creature feature animal ones, because that's what he was. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this top 10 list. Please definitely leave the comments below about any of them that you guys liked, if you guys agree with them, or if there's any ones I should throw in. Remember, I will have more coming. So this is T. Sakura saying ciao and sayonara.